Good morning, everybody. I've not sorted out lights or anything yet. But there you go, that's not so bad, is it? It's so much cooler today. It's a lovely breeze coming in through the window, which is nice. Always nice. So we're going to start in a minute. There's no rush, is there, when we're just going live? All good. The Canadian's working from home today, so she's just making herself a coffee here in the kitchen. Hello! Oh, she's not answering me. Hello, 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 Catherine.
Oh, hello. Who's that saying hello?
Now she's saying hello. I mean, she's literally in the same room. It just goes to prove that, you know, when you're in any kind of long-term relationship, communication goes out the window, doesn't it? You know
well,
what I mean?
I thought you were talking to the people on the internet.
To the people.
Yeah, so I didn't think you were talking to me.
The millions of people on the internet that tuned into me.
Well, who was saying hello?
I was saying hello.
Oh, just you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Blimey. But this, right, so I might have figured out I can do stuff now. I can show how many viewers I've got. So look, I've got one viewer. There you go. I mean, that'll never get above one, to be fair. But it's nice to know how many people are watching, because on OBS I've never been able to do it. So there you go, Streamlabs. Good morning, Phil. Phil, you'll also notice that your little two viewers. It still only says one though. We'll have to see how long that takes to change. But look, I love this. This is your little things come up here, so I don't look like I'm a crazy person.
You're just talking to
It is. I'm just like talking randomly to myself, and we don't know what I'm responding to. I mean, it's a bit annoying that everybody's name's in the same colour.
Can you change that?
Well, I don't know if I can. Better than nothing, I suppose. But still, look, it says one viewer, so there we go. Wonder how long it does take to change. Let me just send this tweet. And then we'll get on with it. Right, that's all done. That's all sent. So, 1957, I think. That was good, wasn't it? Let's just just throw everything everywhere. I need like a little table. You know, apart from the huge coffee table I've got in front of me that I have the thing on. So 1957. Gunfight at the OK Corral. Oh, same year as the Seventh Seal. Look at that. There we go. Gunfight at the OK Corral. Excellent. So I've got Phil and Sarah on, who are both working from home, and just got me on in the background like some kind of crazy, terrible podcast. There you go. Canadian says hi. Oh, now you have come up as a different colour.
Well, because if you go into your settings, you can change your profile colour.
Yeah, but the colours, like I said, the colours are different on the on my actual chat screen.
Okay.
But they weren't on the screen. So that's.
Well, I went for the multicolored one.
That's exciting. Now I have 3 viewers now. I think, as you said, just still only have 1 viewer though. It went up to 3 for some strange reason. Right, 3. Look at that. Oh, we'll be in single figures still before you know it. Right, Gunfight at the OK Corral, 1957. John Sturges' staging of the famous battle, which incidentally only lasted 30 seconds. Between Wyatt Earp and the Clanton Gang in Tombstone, Arizona on October the 26th, 1881 was not the first film version. No, because we've seen a film version. My Darling Clementine, which I didn't know until I put it on, was a version of this. But Sturgis's film is a little more accurate than John Ford's My Darling Clementine. You know? Ford, for example, has Earp's associate Doc Holliday killed in the battle. In fact, he survived 6 more years. Gunfight at the OK Corral is a slick production, technically excellent and with a big budget, and it benefits from a fine cast. Burt Lancaster is full of authority as Earp, at times chilling in his determination. By contrast, Kirk Douglas is great fun with a consumptive Holiday, flashing a ready smile, but deadly as a snake. There is also strong support from Joe Van Fleet as Big Nose Kate, of course, big good old Big Nose Kate. I'm watching this on Sky Cinema. Yeah, Sky Cinema, so no TV, and I think it's also available on Paramount Plus. Doc's Put Upon Woman, and John Ireland, who taught PE at St John Rigby when I was there, as gunslinger Johnny Ringo. Good old Johnny Ringo.
It's
I
very
love Johnny
cool.
Ringo. His mate Paulie George was really good as well. Thank you very much for my cup of coffee. The melodicious score, I think that means catchy, by Dimitri Tiomkin, who also did the music for other tone-taming westerns such as High Noon and Rio Bravo, made a considerable contribution, and Frankie Lane's theme song was a big hit. However, those wanting a more realistically downbeat treatment of the White Earp story should watch Sturgis's 1967 sequel, Hour of the Gun, in which the incident at the OK Corral is just a start. I didn't even know there was a sequel. Is that Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas as well? There you go, it's on Amazon Prime too. Excellent. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. I'll give you a minute, Phil, if you're going to put it on in the background. So there you go. I'm looking forward to this one. I do like Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas. They're immensely watchable in everything they're in. Where's my pen gone? My pen's down here. There we go. You can't ignore you now. You flash up on the screen, look. Where are we? The Gunfight. Should have done this before. Okay. What it has done is it's meant that I can now spell Corral. I was spelling it with two L's. Not that I write it all the time. With the 20th. Here we go. Right, so here we go. Number 294. Only 6 off 300. Woohoo! 7 off 301, and then I've done 70, and then something exciting happens with the list. Right, so if we're all ready, I have to remember which remote control I need to use. I'll sort out my lighting as well in a minute. So, remember to listen out for the and in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and play. There we go. What was called Power? It was called Power of the Dog. Oh, it starts off with a good old whistle. You can't beat a good old whistle tune, can you? Oh, this is Frankie Lane's theme tune, obviously. King Corral. I'm not sure it's a great song. That I have to do my pointing properly, don't I? That's very true. I do that on purpose just to annoy you, basically. It's a bit Hateful Eight, isn't it? DeForest Kelly's in it, who of course is most famous for being Bones in Star Trek. People just come to expect it, don't they? I mean, that's what it is. People are still asking me about like which ones did I watch? Did you watch this one? Or things like, did you watch Up? I'm just like, no. How many times do I explain the rules? It was like, it's a Pixar one. I couldn't do them all. I can't believe it's a week. It feels like it feels both like it was about 10 years ago and that it was yesterday still. And it also, it's weird, isn't it, that during it, especially, I keep talking about day two, but during day two, I was like, what on earth am I doing? And it feels like it's like, oh my God, this is such a slog. And then afterwards, it just feels like it was nothing. Oh yeah, do that again. No problem at all. They did do a version of this. I used to love the ones where they'd go like into the past, or they'd do those Next Generation have those holodeck versions. How lovely it is! That colour's so lovely. When was Cat Ballou made? Because this song, I put it in my earpiece. This song sounds like something that like Cat Ballou's taken the mick out of. Must have been the 60s, Cat Ballou. '65, love Cat Ballou. The Oscar-winning Cat Ballou. Lee Marvin won an Oscar for it. It never explains why Lee Marvin's playing two characters. You know, it doesn't like say the twins or anything like that. It's just like, oh yeah, here he is, and here he is as a villain. You what? You watching the film on two screens, or me and the film over two screens, but one speaker, so everything's coming out the same one? Look at that, the old, let's introduce one of our heroes from the back. Ah, yeah, that makes more sense. I don't have the sound on, do I? No, it's whether I've changed it properly or not. He looks so much like Michael Douglas there. Obviously now Michael's old. And I know technically it's the other way around. Michael Douglas looks like him. But it is amazing how much they look like one another. Especially now. Not so much when they were younger, I don't think, but now Michael Douglas is older. And the voice as well. Is that an age-appropriate girlfriend as well there? So look how Kirk Douglas looks really good with a moustache, and yet I look like I was hanging around playgrounds. How many knives has he got? I mean, are we supposed to think that... It's a really odd little scene, that. Do something about that cough of yours. Let's quickly just get in the... Well, that's age appropriate for Hollywood, that, isn't it? It's very melodramatic, this. Right, so he's got TB, right? She's just mentioned that cough of yours. He hasn't coughed once, right, since he's been on. I bet it's single figures, the amount of times he coughs during this film. It does feel like it should be black and white. That knife, I love how that knife fell out the door then. Just keep going, keep rolling. That bloke there, the woman, I assume it's his mum, looked like proper of the times. But that bloke looked like he was in like a V-neck sweater. Like it was his almost off to play golf photo. No, it really wasn't, was it? It was literally like that. They'd just gone with someone's old graduation photo of the parents. Just cut it out in a circle, stick it in a watch. Score is good though. I don't understand, like the rubbish Photoshop pictures in films. I don't understand it. I don't understand how rubbish they are. Oh, and it's usually in a film where they spent like a gazillion pounds on a giant dinosaur or some huge UFO landing, and yet they can't get the pictures right. And sometimes even the pictures, like I said, the family pictures of the family that's in the film, and they photoshopped them. Just have a couple of hours where you actually just go out and take those photos. I don't understand. I don't understand why it looks like that. And it's like you almost expect it now. It drives me crazy, the photographs in films. It really does. No, I say this all the time. Wyatt Earp only died in the 20th century, didn't he? Elvis. I don't know if there will be. Baz Luhrmann's usually quite good with stuff, just in general, Disney style-wise. There's everything else it falls down on. $1929, there you go. So, he'd only been dead 30 odd years when this was made. It's crazy. It's like Wyatt Earp was alive when the First World War was on. It just seems crazy. It's good old like traditional saloon music as well. So they must be the Clanton gang, those guys. They must be. Loads of bloody exposition here right at the beginning. Johnny Ringo. I loved it. We had Johnny Friendly yesterday. We've got Johnny Ringo today. I love it. Not the Clayton gang then. Yeah. Johnny's all over the place. But you know, that's the 21st century for you, isn't it? I never thought that this morning one of the first things that I'd say would be Johnny's all over the place. This is such a Hollywood film. It's very, you can tell that every single shot is a studio. How do you not turn around and look at him? That's one cough. The colours will give it that. You know, like we watched Gangs of New York. We were talking about. I watched it on my own. What were we talking about? But anyway, just recently, I'm still waking up. I've got a third viewer who is either going to say hello or just go, "What's this shit?" and turn off straight away. Gangs of New York was almost like a pantomime. It was like dress up. It was like watching modern actors dressed up in the olden days because the colours and the way it looked. That's what this looks a little bit like. It's a bit kind of, we're dressed up as cowboys, but we've still got our modern 1950s haircuts. Let's make a film. What colour should we have these curtains? Let's make them the reddest curtains we can possibly find. It is. It's like, Gangs of New York's exactly like that. It's like a school play. They all have to bring in their own unit, like their own costumes, find something at home, make out of an old curtain. You know, and you've got the little lad playing Bill, and he's got his dad's big top hat on, and that's why it's too big. I've not seen Tombstone. And then there's the Kevin Costner version, isn't there? Wyatt Earp, which I've not seen either. Perhaps we should have just a special off-brand Wyatt Earp day and do all the Wyatt Earp films we can possibly find. Ooh. I told you number 3 you would go, "What's this shit?" and then just not bother saying hello. I don't know, does it? It's Kurt Russell, isn't it, as Earp? It's Dennis Quaid as Doc Holliday. Is that right? Is it the right way around? Yeah, because Val Kilmer. No, is it Val Kilmer? I think it's Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday in Tombstone, and then it's Dennis Quaid in Wyatt Earp. Is that right? There you go. So Tombstone is Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer, and I think Dennis Quaid is Doc Holliday in Costner's Wyatt Earp. I think. I'm just throwing names out now, aren't I? Oh, the Forgotten Earps. Maybe some more whistling. Is it consumptive? Would he be able to whistle? Or would he have enough air in his lungs? He's doing one of those, he was doing like a teeth smiley whistle. He wasn't he was in whistling. Was there a Frank Earp as well? It is, it's like, it's cliche saloon music. There's not even a pianist that you can see. Got all the animal stuff on, like this, the animal heads on the wall. Put his cup down slowly. Frilly shirt. a lot longer for a start, isn't it? Wyatt Earp and Tombstone was the first example that I can remember as a person of there being like two films released roughly at the same time but the same thing. You know, we had like Volcano and Dante's Peak, and you got like Armageddon and Deep Impact. Tombstone and Wyatt Earp was like my first kind of. He's dressed like blokes now. You're absolutely right. They go to a tea dance, so they just go out like there'll be a social club somewhere tonight where there'll be that's a bloody good shot. I mean, he's no way he's killed straight away from just that one stab wound. So breathe in there. If it works, it works. I mean, if I knew that I was going to get free brandy, I'd go and talk to those blokes all night. I can't begin to tell you, all right, and I will stop going on about it, I promise, that this is so much better for the whole project. I'm actually responding to things that people are saying rather than just going, yes, I agree with that one. Yes, but it wasn't as big as it was in Godzilla. Miles better. Oh my god. Is saddle horses an expression? As opposed to a non-saddle horse, bareback. We're on to bareback again. Johnny's all over the place. I'm going to have to get better at where I point, though. I usually do, I use like lamp side, not lamp side, because I can't do left and right the best of times. So I've got to be better at, you say that too, Chrissy Chris, are you guy? Are you guy? Are you guy? Oh, no, that'd be even better. When they appear on the screen, the bots will be even better, to be honest, won't they? Because again, at least it's not just me going, are you guy, with nothing coming up. Plus we can watch as I block them all. It'll all be very exciting. This is a huge, like, hotel, isn't it? For a Western. So spacious. Would having the word exit painted on a door, was that would that have happened back in the 1880s? I'm going to make sure you know where the fire exit is. I'm going to paint it on. Look how kind of clean the streets are as well. If you compare that with Shane, with the ruts in the road, and what we were watching the other day, and was it one of the Disney films, and it had the ruts. Yeah, it was Lady and the Tramp, wasn't it? It had like where the carts had been. Like, compare that to Tombstone here. I'm assuming we're in Tombstone here. How did he know he was still stood there? The old one slap to the back of the head. There's a film with these two in, and I think it's the last film they made together, where there are a couple of old gangsters who come out of prison. And ITV used to show it like once every 9 months back in the early 90s. Was it called something like The Old Guys or The Wise Guys? Or... And in my head, as like a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, I think it's amazing. But in reality, I know it's going to be bloody awful, isn't it? I think it was the last film Burt Lancaster made before he died. We got some fire in the hay there just before heat waves made them controversial. I saw a tweet this morning by Danny Wallace that said it was something like, "I wonder how all the right-wing DJs who've been saying that obviously it was much more succinct than this because it was a tweet, but he was asking about how all the right-wing DJs this morning were covering all the fires and people's houses burning down after spending all day yesterday saying it's just summer, stop moaning about the heat." That is some fire. That hay went right up. You go, a couple of saddle horses there. So they're not in Tombstone, are they? Here we go. We've got Frankie Lane's song here. They're getting the money's worth out of it. Yes, it is. Which again, I've never seen. The film that saved Frank Sinatra's career. It is on the list, isn't it? I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I've got quite good at recognising what is and isn't, based on the English-speaking ones. I really need to start watching some of the foreign stuff. Alright, so I'm going to a position where the last 3 years is going to be all foreign stuff. And it'd be nice to do a mix, wouldn't it? I'll have to draw up a list of so many foreign ones a month. So many whatever, so many this, that and the other. So we can get a blend. Have I answered that question already? I haven't seen From Here to Eternity. I've seen that one bit over and over again. No, I just didn't know if I'd said it or not. That wasn't me going, I've said it already. That was me going, I can't remember if I did answer it or not. See, look at this. Look how it looks like Bonanza. It's like a TV western. I'll tell you what, in Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas, it's not exactly a film that's begging for more handsome men, is it? Oh, love the Rawhide song. That's a great song to play. I think this film is showing up how good John Wayne was. I'm going to sneeze, bear with me. John Wayne moved and spoke basically in the same way in all the films that he ever did, but I believed he lived at that time. I'm watching him going, yeah, this is a man in the 1800s. Burt Lancaster walks like he's from the 1950s. He stands like he's from the 1950s, if that makes sense. Yes, From Here to Eternity is on the list. I knew it was. Another one from 1953. I've done loads from the 50s. This is another one I've done from the 50s this week. You can tell that they're acting. Now compare that to, I mean, we talked about this yesterday, didn't we? We talked about On the Waterfront yesterday. And we said that it's incredibly theatrical. You're aware that you're watching people acting because it feels like you're watching some kind of like almost like experimental at the time theatre group film. I mean, it's amazing on the waterfront, but you know you can tell it's acting, and yet I was completely and totally taken in by it and completely kind of like involved in those characters and the situation. And this is the same. This is two people. We talked about theatre studies duologues, didn't we? And that's kind of what this is here now between Bert and Kirk. It's two people talking, but it's two people acting at one another. It's not Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. It's Bert and Kirk dressed up, talking to one another. But I'm not as involved. They're too clean. Look at that. Look at that suit Burt Lancaster's got on. That's exactly what it is. Two people waiting for the time to say their line. Right, it's your line now. Now it's my line. Now I'm listening to your line. Now it's my line now. It's hit your marks, look in the right place. It's like it's the Western that Leonardo DiCaprio's character's making in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's that kind of Western. Look at the length of the barrel on that gun. Christ almighty. Look how he was stroking it as well. Even he said, is that barrel too long? I want to say this was 294. It doesn't even feel like a Netflix original. It feels like a Sky Movies original. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fun. You know, it's keeping my attention. Every time there's a woman at the table, there's trouble. You know that. No women gambling on the north side. Yeah, but again, that tableau there, that's not a million miles away from on the waterfront yesterday, where you were in. All right, it was a pool table, wasn't it? There, and the people were spread around, with couples of people talking and talking and talking. Yeah, that just looks like let's pile some people round a little bit. Let's just have people stood round. Where he's grabbed him by the belt to get rid of him. Look how he stood with his gun there. He's not of that really long one. See, Wyatt Earp is so tough. He can talk people out of shooting them. To no lady. It is like the dogs playing poker. Didn't even flinch. I shit myself. I've run out of Piriton, so I've not had one, and you can tell. I ain't no gunman. I couldn't kill no one. You were just trying to impress the lady. Weren't we all? We've all pulled a gun in order to impress a woman. She might be desperate. I think we all are. This is the only thing so far that I can believe that they would have arrested a woman for playing poker and disturbing the police. This wasn't even a good a good insult, was it, that? Oh. Look how clean the glassware is. The bottles are shiny, there's no fingerprints on them. If I have a glass of whiskey, within about 2 minutes, it's filthy because of my fingerprints. He's only coughed once. That's why. He's not coughed at all. And isn't that just called acting? This is how many coughs I'll put in. I'll cough here and I'll cough there. Surely he didn't just go, here's my lines, and then every so often I'll go, whenever I want. I mean, surely he's clearly set that up. Some nice dealing there, though. One-handed dealing from Kirk. That's a skill. This lovely pearly-handled one. There's another Johnny. Is that the same Johnny as before? We've not seen Johnny Ringo yet, have we? She happens to be a lady. Who the bloody hell is Shanghai PS? He's hired Ringo. There we go. Although this is a good 5 years before we'd even heard of the famous Ringo. I'll be back in a sec. We've had about there's like about 3 actual sets as well, and that's it. What have I missed here? Right, okay. There you go. Did I say? I said it was like Bonanza. See, I've only been up an hour, and already my glasses are digging into the side of my head. It's a slow one, this. Feels like we've been watching it for longer than 40 minutes. Nothing's really happened. It's a bit of a... It's a bit Western by numbers. Why? I think he doesn't have a moustache because Kurt's got one. But then Henry Fonda didn't have one in Clementine either. He's the hero. He's got to be clean shaven, right? As opposed to Kurt's big handlebar job. Perhaps he couldn't grow one. Perhaps it was like mine. Like a horrible little ginger one. Don't know, will anyone know he's a deputy? But look how beautiful that is. Right, all the studio stuff looks really kind of like studio. And then anything outside, like that opening shot where they were coming in through the... Oh, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. It's ridiculous. It's like a film of 2 halves. Anything inside is like proper journeyman. And anything outside is absolutely stunning. That there, that dark shot. That's a beautiful shot. Look at the lighting there. Anything inside, it's like they've just gone, stick the big light on, go. Okay, he's done a bit more coffee than I thought he would do. But now we've got an outside studio shot, which looks like that bit in The Three Amigos where they start singing and all the animals come up and start singing with them. Is it Little Cowboy, close your eyes and sleep? Yeah, it's always the stuff like the old Last of the Summer Wine stuff, where it was almost like the opposite. All the outside on film stuff looked really grainy and crap, and then it all suddenly went all like, look how it's like 4K in the studio. Until they made the decision with Last of the Summer Wine to do it all on film, which made miles more sense. I haven't watched No Voyager yet. I think Kat will want to watch it with me. So we've not had a chance to do it yet. So it might be the weekend. Well, I've not asked, I'm just assuming she'll want to watch it because it's got Bette Davis in it. I should probably ask and see. Rather than assuming. It's, you know, it's where danger lies, isn't it? Communication, everyone, it's the key. I mean, she might have this on in the background, so technically I might have asked her. I mean, she's not, because I've just got my 2 pointing. Well, you do never know. Been on fire there. Now, nights in the desert are freezing cold, right? Because there's no cloud cover to keep the heat in. They wouldn't be walking about in just waistcoats. No warning shots, just proper killed them. Don't go to sleep, Dot, whatever you do. It's a much more pleasant day today. There's a lovely breeze coming in. I don't feel like I'm stewing in my own juices. He's certainly coughing a lot more than he was at the beginning. I mean, he's not been gone that long, has he? How long's he been gone? That's definitely what it is. I mean, it almost feels like I'm taking the mick out of him by coughing and sniffing. See, again, look at that. Some lovely outdoor stuff. My horse has broken down. How's he found her? How's he just happened to just like come across her whilst a horse has gone lame? Well, there you go, he followed her. That wasn't creepy at all. I didn't happen along. I know you ride out this way every day. I've been watching. Still in a suit that just has absolutely no dirt on it whatsoever. That definitely has. There's definitely issues there. Was that supposed to come across as a bit romantic or a bit flirty? You better hold on tight. Tighter. Very odd, very odd. We've got a third viewer. Hello, third viewer. You should come and say hello. Say hello, say hello. I put it to you, still, that 48 minutes in, nothing has happened in this film. We've not set up the Claytons or anything. Clayton gang? Clayton gang. We, She's gone off to be with Ringo. Now, assuming that that isn't historically correct, that Doc Holliday's bird goes off with Johnny Ringo. Is Johnny Ringo even a real bloke? Bloody hell. How many cows have they got in here? We cowboys get lots of cows. I mean, he's basically treated her like shite, right, since this film started 50 minutes ago. And now, I mean, he threw a knife at her within the first 2 minutes. And now he's all upset because she's gone off with Johnny Ringo. It's like a spoof. Let's get that music going. I've still got, you see, the beard is kind of what I'm about a week and a half into growing the beard back, and I definitely have a woke up behind the bins at Asda kind of look going on. Johnny Ringo's a real guy. I love it. I mean, she's clearly only done it to make him jealous anyway. John Peters Ringo. Love it. I'd have loved his middle name to be Paul or George or... I was sick, I needed you, and you ran off on me. Despite the fact that I spent all night gambling, boozing, and chatting up other women. Why is he looking in the wardrobe? Johnny Ringo there in the other room. So have you sent me a picture of the real Johnny Ringo? Because if he doesn't look like that man there, I'm going to be very, very annoyed. She called her a slut. Here we go. Can you right? So that, can we see that? That's what Johnny Ringo really looks like. I get that. There we go. It's a bit better. Compared to John Ireland here. Reach. I mean, he has a face, doesn't he? Look how high up his belt is as well. Johnny Ringo doesn't look like a tough guy gunman. Ba-ba-boom. Deep, 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 deep. It's like Calamity Jane. Just everything's so... I mean, look at the colour of that dress. It'd be absolutely covered in shite. Right, the bottom, what, 2 inches? They do look like that. They do. And again, Wyatt Earp's been hanging about waiting for her there to come out. And now he's just gonna park up in the middle of nowhere. She looks like if Mint Choc Chip was a person. That's what it looked like. It is. It's like the bit in Greece, isn't it? You parked with a guy. No, no. Back to the Future, isn't it? Where she says, "I never parked with a guy," and then she does. I mean, this film was made 2 years after Back to the Future is set. In fact, I put it to you, right, that Back to the Future 3 is a more realistic Western than this one is. Then that's a lovely shot. Bloke there in the photo. Again, we're talking about comic book style frames, weren't we, stay with on the waterfront? That was like that, and it was looked nice. I had some skin. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Like hanging off my finger, like dry skin. I just bitten it off and made myself bleed like an idiot. It does. I mean, I'd like to think that perhaps, like assistant director or like director of the second unit was actually miles better than the original director. I don't need hand cream. I have beautiful hands. I just had a tiny little bit of just dry skin on the tip of my finger. I've never done a day's work, so my hands are actually lovely. Just made some toast yesterday. Could have taken some bread outside and sunshine. Yeah. Yeah, it just feels like a much more pleasant day, doesn't it? Like, look at them not batting an eyelid at all the. It's like Blazing Saddles. Stuff's getting shot around them and they're not even moving. Give over. Yes, exactly that. It does feel like a pastiche. Now look, the bad guys come in and he's all like, "Hey, I'm the big bad boss." You can tell he's the bad guy because he's wearing like quite a gaudy waistcoat. And we've had a ride the horse in, swing on the chandelier moment. He is like the Disney Sheriff of Nottingham. I mean, he looks like a man who's never fired a gun before in his life. Oh, it's the old play, oh, but play slower because the sheriff's watching. There we go. Shanghai Pete, or whatever he was called. Don't worry, there's two of them now against this gang. It'll all be alright. It's... I don't understand why he's a marshal of a big, terrible town, but he doesn't wear a gun. That's not 5 seconds, that's the count of 5. Johnny Ringo there. We should have just shot him dead. And play. Right, he was facing him front on. As he shot him in the side of the arm. Burt Lancaster came out of that saloon then like he'd tripped over the carpet and turned it into a run. Bloody hell. Here we go. We've got another Theatre Studies duologue scene coming up. Look how he flicks the card. I'm a professional card player. Look at me flicking the cards. Of course he is. Is that the same as Tom Cruise? Isn't Tom Cruise 5'9"? Was he 5? Yeah, he's only 5'9", isn't he? It's perfect leading man height. Got to be the same height as the women, or else it doesn't work. Shots wise. 5'7", bloody hell. Tiny, tiny person. If you're watching Tom, obviously, you know, big respect, mate. Love your films. Come on, 5'7"? Don't beg him. Don't I'll do anything you say either. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it, eh? He does a lot of lying down on his bed with his clothes on, but yet still looks immaculately dressed. It's just gone, leave me alone. And put his hand over his... Oh, bloody hell. I'll be honest with you. Why is this still on the list? Oh, hang on, we've got a fact. We've got a fact that I'm going to like. Look, I need to get... I can't get my point in. I've got my arm on here and about half of the way through. There you go. Get my point in. It's very difficult, you know. Oh my good God. He looks at least 10 years older than me, right? For people that don't know, for anyone that may stumble upon this and fast forward into it, you know, an hour and 12 minutes in, and I'm 44. And Burt Lancaster's 44 when he filmed this. But I mean, he's not got as much grey hair as me, to be fair. But he does look older than 44, right? I don't look, do I? I think I probably do. I look older. Da-da, there's something in that letter. You can tell from the music. Has she left him? Ooh, look how that was positioned then. Oh, right, okay, there we go. Can we stop this week? He's like proper hunched over. 41? Bloody hell. Here we go. Hour and 5 in, 55 minutes left. The story's finally kicked in. The soundtrack, right? It flips from proper like lovely music going on at the moment to like Disney Western. She is, because it's the 50s. It's all 50s Western chic. Clean them all up. Crack your neck, everyone. Oh, I love you, Laura. If there's anyone called Laura watching, it's just what he says in the film. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea, but I've just messaged the Canadian to see if she wants a cup of tea too. She's clearly very busy at work because she's not seeing it. More whistling. Right on. I knew that was coming. Oh, yeah, there you go. Kirk, you wouldn't mind just hitting me that. Oh, he's done it. Right, okay, there you are. Blimey. This song, he's literally, right, he's ridden up like so fast like that, and then just stopped and just gone, all right, Marshall, like that. No out of breath horse riding or anything. Look at his white socks. So he's just. Oh, okay. This song, right? This bloody Frankie Lane song, which appears to have 5,000 verses, and he's basically telling the story like he is the rooster in Robin Hood, right? Like we talked about before, the similarities. It feels like it's been written by one of those little rhyme books. It's like going, so Wyatt Earp has gone, he's riding under the raging sun. He's taken some butties and a currant bun for his lunch. It feels like that. He was, no, I didn't know that. If you watch the Crimson Pirate, was a lot of trapeze stuff. All his own stunts in the Crimson Pirate. and he has like a mate in the Crimson Pirate who's in a lot of his early films with him, and he was his acrobat partner. The Crimson Pirate is, I think, probably the first Burt Lancaster film that I ever saw as a kid. And again, that's one that they used to show almost like every Christmas. But all the stunts are very circus-like, kind of trapeze stuff. Even little Jimmy is getting married. There he is. There's DeForest Kelly. He looks so different. I suppose he looks less grizzled. So what are we? Was it 62? 63? It's the same. Was it the year? It's the year after Doctor Who, I think, isn't it? So is it 64 Star Trek started? No, it wasn't 66 because 2016 was its 50th year, I think. So yeah, it's almost 10 years later, isn't it? So he would look older, more dishevelled, I suppose. The whole thing is the whole thing's like Westworld. It's a bit like if you had a theme park that was a western, it would look like this film. She does want a cup of tea. We're on! Right, I'll be back shortly. You'll be able to hear the kettle because it's incredibly loud. I've got my earpiece in, and even I can't hear it over the kettle. I've only been talking about you because I said I was going to make a cup of tea, and I'd messaged you to see if you wanted one, and you haven't got back to me yet, so you must have been busy. And then you did message me and say you wanted a cup of tea, and I was like, yes. I mean, you can rewind and check if you like. It's absolutely what happened, right, kids? But yeah, that was it. That was all. So he just rolls into this new time and just goes, I'm going to become sheriff for this one as well, and they go, all right, Marshal. Tea towel, look. In 2022, my tea towel is dirtier than the tea towels that we've seen in the gunfight at AOK Corral. Oh yes, I did suggest that I hadn't seen No Voyager yet because you'd probably want to watch it because it's got Bette Davis in it, but I hadn't asked you yet. Brilliant. Okay, so when I bring you a cup of tea in, I'll tell you what's been going on. I don't know how live TV presenters do it with that earpiece in all the time. It proper gets on my nerves. Ba-bum. Ba-bum. It's proper Western by numbers, this. Hello, Ringo. Lots of toxic masculinity in this. All very flirty, that. Why don't you check it in for me, Marshall? I'm just taking the Canadian her cup of tea. Da-dum, bum, bum. So she's gone back to Johnny Ringo. Nothing has happened. I was just thinking, I've gone all... There we go. I don't know why this is on the list, even from... We've got 5 viewers. What are you doing, you crazy people? You should be at work. After reading the entry as well in the book as to why this is on the list, I still don't know why this is on the list. It seems to be, it's on the list because in My Darling Clementine they killed off Doc Holliday, but in this one they don't, so it's more historically accurate. Which, it seems to suggest that this was the second version, or the second film made, but was more historically accurate because... Was Kate Fisher a real person then, if Johnny Ringo was? So yeah, I'm just a bit... We've got what? We've got 35 minutes left? No, we've not. We've got about 40 minutes left. I don't think people will have left. I think they'll have loved this sort of stuff back in the 50s. Especially with these two in. The fellas would have lapped this up. Oh, 2 big tough guys doing the right thing. Literally, there's 2 female characters in the whole thing. Both of them love interests. One of them played some kind of harridan. Right, even though clearly it's Doc Holliday who's done her wrong. But yeah, it's played like he's the one who's hard done by. I'd even go so far, and I didn't really like Ringu Phil, but I would even go so far as to say that the Japanese one is above the Beatles one for me in favourites. Right, okay, so we've got our Kate Fisher fact here. 1940s, she died 17 years before this film was made. Big nose Kate, yeah. But I'm assuming none of this stuff happened. He's got a lot of them frilly shirts. Look how white it is. I wear a white shirt to work, right, where I just teach a lesson and come home. And it's dirtier than that one. I bet it's all real whiskey they're drinking as well. Still got 4 viewers. It's all very exciting for a Tuesday morning. No, look how he sat on that chair as well. You get told to put all 4 feet on the ground. It's up to me. There you go. Isn't this what causes the gunfight? Just one of them being in prison. He was a dentist. I knew that. Isn't that in? Isn't that one of the things? I've not seen Tombstone, but I think it does. It does thingy on that, doesn't it? Mentions it not at all in this. I mean, I don't think the qualifications for being a dentist back in the 1880s was quite as. See, look at that shot. Look at those cacti. I'm even using the correct plural. Here we go. So I'm going to kick off now. We're at the Clanton Ranch. Damn. Do we know that they're evil, even though we've not met them yet because of the music? Everything's spelt correctly. That's what I love. We're talking. What was it? Was it? Which Disney we were watching, and all the signs were spelt slightly wrong. Oh, it was Winnie the Pooh, wasn't it? So Winnie the Pooh, all the signs are spelt incorrectly because it's childish and the letters are the wrong way around. And yet here we are in the Wild West, where we can assume that not many of them can probably read or write very well, and yet all the signs are perfectly spelt. He's just going to walk in, isn't he? Just going to walk in. Yeah, he is. Didn't knock or anything. The sneer boy. Burt Lancaster's going to give you like a big speech. He's not asked if it's alright to smoke in the house. Bloody hell. This is the worst speech I've ever heard in my life. Is that Dennis Hopper? That's not Dennis Hopper. Was that Dennis Hopper? I can't. Look how young he is. is Dennis Hopper. Wow. I had Fred Gwynn yesterday, you know, in saying, can't it hope no hours, because that's what you've written. In on the waterfront, and then Dennis Hopper in this. It's that one suit again. Territory. Don't know why it's kicking off. He read that quick. It's lucky he had that bit of paper in his pocket. That's true, actually. But it'd be a lot dirtier than that if he only had one suit. That looks nothing like the kitchen he was stood in before. It's Johnny Ringo again. There's only one thing we can do. A gunfight at the OK Corral. That's how it feels. It feels like they're going to somehow shoe on the title in. Not Clum. What's Clum? No, see, Ike there, and how he's dressed, he looks like he's got like a dust-filled shirt on. Looks like he's got a dirty shirt on. Dirty shirt. Ooh, dirty shirt. Sleep in his chair. Oh, he's woken up just before the door opens. You're tired? Yeah. Just been asleep. Nice shadows there, though. So again, the lighting is really great in a lot of these scenes. Too quiet. Almost as if we're going to have a gunfight at the OK Corral. There's only 2 women in the entire Wild West. Well, 3, because we had that old woman then as well. God, no wonder they were so strung out. He is itching to get back to California, but that's just because, you know, he's not changed his underpants for 3 weeks. He's going to get killed, isn't he? We found out he's got a girl back in California he can't wait to get back to. Let me do the rounds for you. I'm going to get killed. Yeah, but we've not even had like a proper whorehouse, have we? OK, Corral, and then an arrow points into it. That's amazing. Like it's a theme park. I told you he's going to get shot. I told you he's going to get killed. Like literally within 3 seconds. Bloody hell. Bert's just woken up acting was terrible there. Just realised who's been shot. Was that some gunplay? It'd be better if they filmed this at Frontierland in Morecambe. I can't get over that OK Corral and big arrow sign there. What did the OK stand for? Do we know? Right, now, the original gunfight lasted for 30 seconds. How long do you think it's going to go on for in this film? No! Like how all that gun stuff happened. Bert woke up from sleep and still got there before everybody else. Old Kindersley, there we go. Didn't know that. The old Kindersley Corral. Phil, I almost spat out my tea then. It's his brother. Even though we've not stroke his face, you see. Look how he pulled him up then. Oh my word. Probably a bit of both, Phil. A little from column A, a little from column B. We were definitely up to 5 viewers not that long ago, and none of them have been bots. We've not had anybody wanting to sell me anything. The nose isn't even that big. Are we supposed to believe that this whole gunfight was caused because Big Nose Kate wanted Doc Holliday back? Who was there? Johnny Ringo? Ringo? That's the same room he was throwing knives in earlier on, just redressed. Everything's in the same place. I don't think this is acting for either of them. Doing his coffin now. The only thing that stopped him from killing her was a fit of the old consumption that we've not actually seen him do for about 50 minutes. She looks like Stockard Channing, she does. He's not coughed up any blood, there's no blood on his white shirt at all. Just going back to make sure he's okay, bless her. I love you, Doc, I love you. She should say, "What's up, Doc," now when she goes through the door. His TB attack acting there is up there with Jekyll turning into Mr. Hyde style acting. Even the apostrophe's in the right place in Marshall's office. We can't even get that right now. How are we getting that right in 1800s? Although they were more Dennis Hopper. Is he like... Don't slap him, he didn't do anything. I don't know. I thought it was 2 L's in Corral and I got that wrong. Here we go. They want to meet up with you. Well, I thought so. Let's hope it doesn't result in a gunfight at the OK Corral. Sun up at the OK Corral. Where is it? Pointing the arrow. Shows where it is. Is it 2 L's in Marshall? I'm sure you're Googling it. To be honest, they're probably trying to make it more entertaining. When this film finishes in approximately 20 minutes' time, I'm going to make a Chris Bowl special, which for our newer viewers, or any viewers that, again, find this video by accident and fast forward an hour and 44 into it, is 4 slices of toast. Who's Clum? Fourth woman, everyone, by the way. Who I think she was in it earlier on, wasn't she? But we let it slip. Oh, the old can be both. Cop out. For speaking the truth. You better leave the room. DeForest Kelly's whacked in there. You can't be serious, Jim. I'm a lawman, not a doctor. I didn't know the dispatch. I would always just spell it with an I. Didn't know there was an E spelling. Okay. He's got there early to like check it out, has he? Weird. Who knew, eh? Who knew? I tell you, that's a bloody powerful oil lamp, that. Christ. There are streets in Wigan that aren't lit as well as that. Do we have any idea why this 30-second gunfight happened to be so famous? Did Wyatt then tour the country telling everybody what a big badass he was? See, the whole subtitles trend whilst watching stuff has passed me by as of yet. But I was listening to something, I think I may have talked about this before. It was Mark Kermode was talking about how he was hoping that the trend for younger viewers watching stuff on Netflix with the subtitles on all the time will lead to more people watching more foreign cinema because they won't be put off by the fact that it's subtitled. There you go, see, I don't have anyone talking over it apart from myself. Guys, God, Doc, I need some help, but you've appear to have had this huge attack of the consumption at the exact moment that I need you to help with this gunfight at the OK Corral, despite the fact that you've only done about 4 coughs in the rest of the film. Look how he's walking. Can you do your disappointed walk, Bert? Yeah, I think for spelling and stuff and for reading, it's a great thing. You know, you get kids who are about like, you know, especially I'm going to be a bit, you know, boys and reading, you know, if we're making generalisations. But then they get to the point where they realise that reading has a point. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I can read a sign and I know where this is. That sort of thing there for, you know, reading has a point. Could only be a good thing. Look at the light coming in there, but only shining on his eyes. They're all waking up at the same time. Always happens that. Would you say leave them alone, talking about curtains? I feel crap, that's how I feel. Look at that. I mean, that's one of the greatest sentences ever written, that. Mother, I'd really like to watch some Korean dramas. Could you help me with my reading? Now, his shirt looks a bit more dirty now, but not because he's been outside in the dust, because he's been sweating on it with his consumptive fever. Have Kurt Douglas's eyebrows always been that fair? Looks so much like Michael Douglas. So much. They should do a film of Kirk Douglas's life and have Michael Douglas playing, but do that de-aging thing that they do in Ant-Man all the way through the film. Until, you know, the point where he gets to 100 years old and then Michael Douglas can play that without any effect at all. Of course it didn't. I mean, that's one of those perfect facts, that, isn't it? It was like it was within a 10-mile radius of it, so we'll just call it that. I love stuff like that. Like the Battle of Hastings didn't take part, it wasn't in Hastings. It's in a place called Battle, which is just outside Hastings. But they can't call it, well, obviously Battle's named after the battle, but it just wasn't named anything, was it? It was just a bit of land. But we'll have to call it the Battle of... Ooh. Hastings is probably the closest place. Oh, I love that. I love that it could have been called the Gunfight at C.S. Fly's photography studio on Freeman Street. Now, let's have a look, right? Near this OK Corral, if there's a photography studio. I also like the idea of C.S. Fly hanging out the window. Obviously, he wouldn't be taking pictures like that. Oh, winding it on. You can put your gun away now, Bert. You've seen who it is. Why is he still holding it on him? Boom, 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 boom. I'd like to. We're going to have like Frankie Lane's songs not been on for ages, but I'd love it to like suddenly come in again now. Wyatt and Doug had fun when they pulled out their guns. I appear to be doing it to the tune of speckled frog sitting on a speckled log for some strange reason. At the old hotel, they were waiting outside the marshal's office. 1L or 2, it's up to you. Doing some slow walking. See, Ike looked like he was studying completely like about 4,000 miles away based on how it was shot and the lighting. Go, having a walk. Ba-ba-boom. When we went to Stratford last week, me and Kat, it's like Stratford is like a Shakespeare theme park, isn't it? Like everything's like Shakespeare. This Kat said something like, what did she say? There'd be a shoe shop called what did she say? It wasn't Taming of the Shoe. It was better than that. It was which one was it? Much ado about nothing. She said like everything is Shakespeare, isn't it? Well, that must be the sequel, possibly that covers. I'd like to think that Tombstone is just a gunfight at the OK Corral theme park now. Everything's like Wyatt Earp's diner and Doc Holliday's travel agents. Look, there's that big OK sign at the top to make sure you know you're at the OK Corral. Ooh, just to show that Ike's a big bad boy. Choc Holidays Cafe, nice. I want to see him walk past the photography studio. But of course they wouldn't put the photography studio in because it would seem out of place, even though it's not. Look, it's in the middle of nowhere. They must have walked 20 miles to get here, out of town. There's no town in the distance. Right, so 30-second shootout, remember. When the first bullet starts, we'll check the timestamp, and we'll see when it finishes. I don't know why I would do that, but, it just feels like something we should do. Boom, boom, get ready. Right, first one, there we go. 47-16. So it should be 46 when it finishes. It's like 10 more seconds left for this to be historically accurate. And stop. There you go. It's over. It should be over. No one's actually been shot yet. We should have been counting the shots as well. Definitely more than 30. I keep thinking it's too loud and I should turn it down, but of course it's my earpiece. Right, so it's already now double the length of what the actual gunfight was. Who's been shot there? Was it Doc? No, it wasn't. It's like he's holding him as a human shield. Get behind that cactus. There you go. The first one's dead. I mean, Wyatt's done nothing so far, apart from hide behind a wall. Yeah, it was literally just like a group of men having a big old rumble. And Wyatt Earp just happened to win by luck, probably. Oh, He's shot. Look how he's lit that oil lamp on purpose so he can shoot it out and set fire to the thing they're hiding behind. Of course he did. She probably had to open the window because of her big nose. There you go. They just shot one of their own, showing that they're evil. Morgan Earp's definitely dead there, right? I mean, he just said he one of his moved his head. Bloke's on fire. I don't know why he just didn't keep away from the fire. Now he's shooting people whilst they're trying to put somebody out who's on fire. And now, once that set on fire, you'd go, I'll keep away from that, right? Rather than sticking my arm in it. Oh, there you go. Why's he throwing his shotgun away? Oh, he's thrown it so he can drag him to where it was. Let's just blown his hat off. Oh, see there's a point where I'd have laughed at reading something and no one would have known, but now you can. I will, next time we do one, I will stop pointing out the fact that I really love this. Oh, it's Johnny Ringo. Doc's after Johnny Ringo. For no other reason than he slept with his girlfriend. No, shot him in the arm. The old blood pellet. Was that? That's Dennis Hopper, that. I thought he was having nothing to do with it. Doc, let's have a conversation. Oh no, people are shooting at us. He's mine. I'll take care of Ringo. Oh, I'd love a version of this with the Beatles in. Let's check on my brother there whilst I'm being shot at. Give his head a rub. Oh, he's got some music going. Whilst they're hiding behind the horses. The head's poking up behind the horses. Ooh. So what are we now? We're coming up to 5 minutes of this gunfight. Got him. Shot him through the window, which is always very painful if you get shot through the window. Look how he's frightened. He's just stood still, just looking at him while there's this big gunfight going on. Oh, Dennis, you should have stayed out of it. End up dead like your dad. Look how he shut the door behind him. He's just smashed out all the glass, but shut the door behind him anyway. It is the photography shop. And it is Fly's photography shop. I love it that they put it in. It's just got an extra half a star for that, this film. How good are we that I asked the question, you Googled it, and then there it appears. I love that. So this is the narrow street that it really took place in. Come on, Billy, I'm definitely going to shoot you in the face. Stomach's rumbling. I need that toast. Oh, Billy. That's it, mate, innit? Last one, that. Don't make me kill you. Don't make me kill you. It's your fault. There you go. Doc will just shoot through the window. There you are. Wyatt's a good guy all along. It's Doc who's the one. Ooh, naughty Doc. He didn't want it. He was a peaceful man all along. I've lost focus again. There we go. Cigar. No. Oh, badge slowly. He's quit, mate. There you go. He's done. I've lost focus. I'm all 80s soft porn focus. There we go. It's the lighting. Not changing it now. Oh, he absolutely was, wasn't he? Like the first moment we saw him when he was throwing knives at a big nose cane. Look at the signs, Allen Street. It's like a kid's painted them. It's like it's a school production. We've said this before, haven't we? Oh, I like cough and some whiskey. Get that down in. I'm shoving off. I'm shoving off, Doc. That absolute historically accurate Western phrasing. It's not cold tea. It's proper. It's proper whiskey. This, I'm telling you. There's no way these two fellas went, we're drinking cold tea. There we go. You're crazy. What's the name of the game? It should finish on the ABBA song. Perhaps we will then. From Here to Eternity is one of those that isn't streaming, but it's one that'll definitely be on the TV at some point between now and me turning 50, isn't it? So we might have to wait till I reckon Christmas we're going to tick a load off. Corral! Of course, it finishes with the song Gunfight, OK Corral. There you go, the end. Well, that was average at best. There you go, done. Thank you for joining me. With that font, I know, very Hateful Eight font. We finished with 4 viewers, which is crazy. So nice one, the stream. I mean, well, I knew you weren't talking about the film, Phil. That's for sure. Right, we're done. That's it. I'm going to make something to eat. I might put another one on, but not actually stream it. So thank you for joining me, everyone. We'll do another one tomorrow morning, or I'll do another one tomorrow morning. Obviously, feel free to join me or not. But I've not decided. Should we decide now? Let's decide what we're going to do tomorrow morning. I've got a list of... I'm trying to get my stuff I've recorded off Sky cleared. Let's do... I'm going to do Oklahoma tomorrow morning. Let's follow up Gunfight with Oklahoma. I've got it recorded off the TV in 2 parts, though. That's the only problem. So we'll have to pause. There might be adverts as well. So we'll see what we do with the timestamp. Right, I'm off. See you tomorrow morning, possibly. Bye-bye. Oh, nightmare. I'm still doing Oklahoma. Oh, well, let's do Oklahoma. Are you working from home Friday? Working from home Friday. Working from home Friday. Right, Friday morning Oklahoma then. What should I do? Don't know. They're all very the ones, weirdly enough, the ones that Kat didn't want to watch that I've got recorded on Sky are all the westerns. Weirdly enough, I might do a short one. I might do the Oxbow incident tomorrow morning. Then get that out of the way. Bye everyone. Thank you for watching. TTFN or Summit. Bye.